What you got for him, Spec? What you got for him this year? You did the Randy Savage one year, right? And then you did bootleg Pennywise.
Oh yeah, I did. That was last year. Or the year before?
I think that was last year. So
yeah, it was.
And that was a big one in the comments. They like bootleg Pennywise. What you got for him this year, bro?
I scared the shit out of my son with that.
Perfect.
What's good, y'all? It's your man DJ Playboy back with another episode of the Perfect Talk podcast. Back again in the building. I'm here with my guy, my dude, Spec. What's going on, brother?
It's good, people. Happy Sunday. Happy Halloween. Well, it ain't Halloween yet.
Nah, by the time they see this, it'll be closer. I mean, but people start celebrating. If you a partier, they throw it the weekend of, and it falls on a Friday this year. They're gonna be partying next weekend
too. We had
trunk
or treat this past Friday.
Did you?
At Aaron's school. So yeah, I mean, it starts a whole week.
My kid been getting in trouble all year round, so we still undecided if we even doing Halloween this year. But I don't know. I'm cool with passing on Halloween. I just had a loss in the family, so all the caskets and tombstones. I ain't really trying to see all that. But I guess that comes with the territory of Halloween. But everything else been good with you, bro?
Yeah, might have to do trick or treating for the first time this year.
You don't? You never done that?
No, I never. Normally, my sister-in-law goes with Aaron and Thalia, but she's not around to do it this year, so I may be forced.
Yeah, I was gonna say I have, but that's only because I date white women. Because I wouldn't know what neighborhood to go to. I feel like I'm like an intruder, so I'm like, oh, this is your name? Okay, as long as you from here.
As long as I'm with somebody that fits the description.
Exactly. But I never, as a kid, though.
I said the same thing when, Thalia told me that, her sister wasn't going to come and I should come. I'm like, well, I don't really want to go. And I'm like, well, she was like, well, I need somebody to be able to knock on the doors. And I'm like, I'm a black man in a white neighborhood. You want me to knock on doors?
As opposed to the kid.
So
lights start being turned off inside. Now nobody home all of a sudden. Nah, man. But shout out to Halloween. Shout out to everybody checking us out on YouTube, man. Make sure you leave a like. Make sure you subscribe, and make sure you hop up in the comments, man. And you know what we do here at Perfect Talk Podcast. We like to put a little light on the comments. And this one I got to shed some light on. Ain't even on our page, Spec. It ain't on the Perfect Talk. It's on my other page. Go check out at Plicca, Plicca. That's the DJ Playboy page where I do my mixes and all that. And I don't know if you saw the Little John interview, what he did with the Breakfast Club.
No, I heard some clips, but I didn't.
You probably seen the clips of it. Yeah, during it, he revealed he quit drinking at the age of 50.
Now, you were a big drinker at one time and totally stopped.
Yes.
What made you stop that drinking?
Turning 50.
So you waited to 50 to stop drinking?
Man, why you judging yourself? Goddamn judgmental.
You still drinking
it? Damn.
So I turned 50, and for a while, like a year or two, I had this constant discomfort. Discomfort in my side, and I didn't know what it was. So 50, I need to go to the doctor.
And I commented on the video, just because I don't really talk about this much, because I feel like when people do this, is virtue signaling. And I think when I tell people this, they think I have a negative view on drinking, but I haven't drank in a year and 10 months. And it wasn't no particular reason why I stopped. It just kind of was like, I just didn't feel like it was doing anything for me anymore. It wasn't a health issue. It wasn't like I got in trouble. I have gotten in trouble with drinking with the law, but it wasn't just, I stayed drinking after that. You know what I'm saying? And it was just a matter of, I think monetarily, I was like, where's my money going? And you start looking at where's your money going to? And then it was like, I started thinking about when we do things, because culturally it seems like the thing we should be doing at a certain age, and how much do you really enjoy this? I think there's some people, and I say this as a DJ, that go to clubs that don't really like parties and clubbing, but they think that's what they're supposed to do, or that's where people find a mate. Mm-hmm. And I think sometimes we got to reset our view on certain things, and that's what I did with drinking. So I wrote that I've been on the non-drinking journey a year and 10 months, no regrets, still going strong. And that got 554 likes, and a lot of people have been replying, showing love to me. I'll read a couple of them. Someone said, continue to be strong. Excuse me, I'm going to say their name. At Independent 4416 said, continue to be strong. In December, it'll be 38 years for me. So, shout out Independent 446. Somebody wrote on that comment, I applaud you both. Keep going. That was Shaheen Johnson 7723. Maddo 3623 wrote, now this is major right here. Props to you. Let me see. California man wrote, at Plicca, good for you, and continue that path of no alcohol. I myself is over a year now and going strong. You know what I mean? And shout out to everybody else that showed love. I'm gonna make sure I show it on the screen right now so y'all can see it. But
I have a question as it pertains to that.
What's up?
And not necessarily specific to your journey, but just as a general question. Because I feel like people will say, I gave up whatever it is, whether it be drinking, smoking, sex, whatever the case may be.
Mm-hmm.
And there are levels of giving up. Does that mean that, like, I won't even take if my wife or girl has a glass of something and she's I need you to taste this because it tastes. Would you not even take a sip, or does it mean like complete 100% abstinence?
So I wasn't addicted to alcohol at all. Like I don't think so, unless I was and just didn't know it. But I don't think I was addicted to alcohol. So it wasn't a thing for me to be like no. Now there are some things I'm addicted to that is like nah, you can't take this away from my life. You know what I'm saying? The alcohol wasn't that for me. So I don't despise alcohol. And I think to truly quit something when you're addicted to it, you have to kind of despise it. Even if you don't, you have to in your mind tell yourself to despise it. I don't view alcohol like that. I have seen alcohol hurt people's lives, and I have seen people not able to control it. You know what I'm saying? But I don't, to each his own, you got to handle your candle. I don't necessarily think that I wouldn't do that, and I wouldn't. Because what's the point? Like, I can't taste it better. You could taste it. But if I'm at like a wedding, probably not. I'll probably stay away from it because I more so just see myself going down the path. And I know when I did drink, I went hard in the paint. Like it wasn't just like one drink and I'm good for the night. It was like you kind of feel like it's water. Even it's not quenching your thirst, but you're treating it as if it is. And then I had a DUI in the past, so I had to sit through the classes that tell you, well, one drink is this amount of time on your soberness, and then another show I can't front like I don't know the information of just constantly keep throwing cups back. So to me, it didn't do it. It's not the high that I like, put it like that. More bad has came out of it for me. More like asshole moments that I regret, and as opposed to when I'm getting faded on other things. You know what I mean? So, shout out to everybody out there, and like I said, particularly mine wasn't an addiction. Now there are other things where. And I appreciate the props, but there are other things where I can imagine if you are addicted to alcohol, that it would be a challenge for you. And shout out to you for however long you are. If you happen to maybe slip up and you back on the wagon, I guess is the term, keep going. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like when I have had to quit stuff, because the court told me I had to quit certain things, my thought in my mind was like, damn, I'm never going to do this thing again. And that's what made it hard. Mm-hmm. When I had to, but as opposed to just taking it day by day, I'm a year and 10 months in, you know what I'm saying? But when you tell yourself you're never going to do something, I think that's when your mind starts playing tricks on you, and it makes it seem like you're in a box now, as opposed to you're actually more free from whatever it is, but you tell yourself you're in this box. So my advice would be to anybody, if you got to quit something, just take it day by day. But it is Halloween, like you said, Spec, and they love when we do a Halloween episode here on the Perfect Talk podcast, and they turn on like, where the costumes at? So we got to give them some with the costume reveal, man. Which I'm gonna show you what I got first, man. You know I got to represent. I'm a huge comic book fan, man. Shout out to my guy. You know what I'm saying? I got to represent, man. I got to represent, man. I was worried. I was like, what if Spec show up like Wolverine? we just look like Wolverine super fans and shit. What you got for him, Spec? What you got for him this year?
Well, when I was thinking about this,
you did the Randy Savage one year, right? And then you did bootleg Pennywise.
Oh yeah, I did. That was last year. Or the year before?
I think that was last year. So
yeah, it was.
And that was a big one in the comments. They like bootleg Pennywise. What you got for him this year, bro?
I scared the shit out of my son with that. Well, I didn't know what I was gonna do. Well, I just kind of threw something together, and I'm calling this 70s Galactica.
You look like Joe Dirt. What is Galactica? That's a movie?
It's the whole...
Oh, like Tron and all that shit, right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Spec with the meta glasses that light up.
What y'all think about my costume, people?
Hop in the comments, let us know, man. I try to use Face ID with this shit like it was gonna recognize. Yo, happy Halloween, man. I think adults, when I seen this was in adult sizes, I was like, damn, adults need a reason just to dress up, I guess, man. I think we just need that. We need a reason just to get crazy. just to not be yourself for a day, man.
Let loose.
Yeah, right. Why not, man? Yo, I got to tell a story real quick before we get into it. I know you're like, where the episode at? But I got a gripe about technology, something that like what's the term? Grinds my gears. Okay. And then I got another one where I'm like, all right, I'm cool with technology and props with technology. So the first one, I'm on the phone, I'm on the iPad, right? I don't use my iPad that much, and I'm not a big FaceTime guy, but I think I was doing something on my phone. So I told my girl, she wanted to call me. I was like, FaceTime me. So I'm talking to her on the iPad. And I'm having a conversation with her, and I don't know why, but I wanted to hit the vape off camera. I didn't want her to know I hit the vape, right? So I did one of these. I like lean, and I hit the vape. Oh, the iPhone got some shit in it. I mean, the iPad that follows you. Oh, wow. But like, no, yeah. So I look up, and I'm right here on the camera with it. I'm like, yo, this shit got camera tracking. So then I'm in here with the baby, and I got the baby on, like, you know what I'm saying, sitting next to me or whatever. And then I get up and I gotta go get something on the other side of the room. Why the camera turned to the baby? so I'm like back in my wild boy days, if I would have been That's cheating crazy. Or something like that. Now I was like, look who else is in the room. Yo, apps, this is not what Steve Jobs dreamed of. What is the point of that?
Camera has to be like, you have to figure out what setting that.
I turn it off, right? Yeah, like I didn't turn it on. Why would anybody even want that? You know what I'm saying?
Niggas out there.
Now my other, I guess the opposite.
Must have been one of his female employees that put that in technology.
You know what's funny is I was thinking that, but not on that level. I was thinking like if my daughter was doing a TikTok, but then she wanted to dance around and move, and then the camera would follow her. I guess that's the only reason. I'm like, what is the advantage to this? And then my other, I guess I give props to technology, was I was listening to a preacher I listened to. Shout out to Eric Thomas. He was talking about his Escalade. And he goes, yeah, man, I be carrying like groceries to the joint, and I'm listening to it. I can't see him, so I don't know what he's doing. But he's like, sometimes I'm trying to open up the door, and I got groceries, and he's like, somebody came up to me the other day and told me, you ain't know you can just put your foot underneath and the joint open. Okay. Yeah, so I'm like, oh, and I see it, and it's funny because like the week before I seen a lady do it right next to me, and I was like, it's kind of dope, but you could do that shit. So I'm like, let me go try to find, because I just got a V. I got a used car, but it's new to me, you know what I'm saying? So I don't know all the features on it. I haven't read the owner's manual. I got that shit too.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Now I gotta try that shit.
Because I'm like, here giving this lady props, because I got the same shit, bro.
That's crazy.
Yeah, you just put it, and I didn't know how to do it right at first. So I showed my girl at one time, and then I tried to stunt another time. I was like, wait, it ain't working. Why ain't doing this shit right? I gotta do that. So I had to pull out the onion manual. Okay, it got to be between this dot and all that. I had my daughter do it. She kicked my car. I'm like, you can't do it no more. You don't get to do that shit. But yeah. Apple, we don't need the camera tracking, but shout out, you know what I'm saying, all the car companies out there. Because you know what? I seen that on a car commercial years ago, and I was like, it's dope, but it's almost like for like soccer moms, or, you know what I'm saying?
I mean, that's who did it in the commercial.
Yeah. So they didn't really, but when you really like, you coming from Home Depot or something, you might have 2 heavy bags or something in your hand, you might need that. Try that joint when you go home. But everybody out there, go see if you got that foot underneath the lift kit, because my car ain't that expensive. I was impressed. I was like, okay, we find out. But let's get right to it, man. Let's get to put this spotlight story. It's when I take a news headline and I shine some light on it, whether big, whether small. And this first one was Gucci Mane. He did a Breakfast Club interview. He came out with a new book, and he revealed that, you know, he suffers from schizophrenia.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I mean, I think we already knew that he had bipolar, but I think the schizophrenia one was a new revelation in terms of what he's going through. He did the interview with shout out to his wife, Keisha Kayor, I believe her name is. I like the fact that his new book is called Episodes: The Diary of a Recovering Madman. And a lot of people was wondering why she was there, because she's not really promoting anything. But as they talk, you realize, because in my head, I was like, oh, Gucci, does he still suffer from the stuff he used to suffer from? And I was like, since he's been married, I haven't really heard of it, but they kind of explain why. She kind of knows when the episode is coming on. She kind of knows, take away his phone. She's learned different strategies,
regulated.
And she's learned how to read the signs for it. And shout out to her. You know what I'm saying? This is I don't know what she is. She sounds Jamaican, but she's she's definitely a West Indian woman. And it's funny because like I feel like I grew up in the West Indian Caribbean, And I feel like you couldn't just be like, hey, I'm suffering from this. They'd be like, get over it. You know what I'm saying? So
go eat some ginger root.
Yeah, you don't need no medicine for that. So like, I think that she took the same attitude as if like, I'm not gonna let this thing be bigger than me. We're gonna figure out how to do this thing. And sometimes you need a strong, I think, Caribbean woman that ain't afraid to like any challenge, because I couldn't do it. You know what I'm saying? It take a person that's able to a really strong personality to deal with that, and to know that your life isn't going to be normal.
Right.
You know what I mean? And she seemed to be really cool with that. A lot of people, had props for what she said. A lot of people were hating on her, but I think people are going to hate on people anyway. But I think a lot of people were like, "Oh wow, she's kind of running Gucci," and I don't think that's what it is. I think Gucci gave her the reins. You know what I'm saying? And it takes a man to do that. And if you get caught up in the internet, like drama and the dumb shit that they want to talk about, I think you'll find yourself trying to please people that don't even really care.
Find yourself lonely.
Yeah, 100%. But what I like that Gucci's being open about this. I like that they're coming out and talking about this, because honestly, like them talking about this has like. It has to for millions of people across the world, like open up, like, oh, all right, it's not just me.
For sure.
It's not.
I mean, schizophrenia. That bipolar disease. That's one thing, but schizophrenia. That's a whole nother. Like, that's really crazy.
Yeah, and the fact that they're open about medication. That she's like, if as long as he takes his medication, for the most part, he'll be good. And it's good to hear someone be an advocate for that, because you hear so much of the opposite.
Medication.
Exactly. Or how much they dislike it, and they're gonna just try to do it without it. Or what I think Gucci was doing was he was using drugs.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you're using drugs to treat that, the drugs is probably causing more of a
worse.
Yeah, exactly, a chemical imbalance. But yeah, I think it's really cool to have a dope woman by your side, and shout out to anybody that is sticking by somebody that has any kind of mental health issue, or just even a lack of self-control, a lack of inability, because this conversation found itself over to Nicki Minaj. And I believe Nicki Minaj, I know for a fact Nicki Minaj started attacking Gucci Mane's wife.
Really?
Yeah. Now, there was a part in the interview where...
Like recently or way back when?
No, this week, after their interview. Now, there's a part in the interview where, if anyone who knows, if you listen to music, like even not even the biggest Gucci Mane fan, but like you're a fan of just his mixtapes, maybe back in the day, you know that there are a lot of artists. You could probably name at least 5 of them that he had on his mixtape before they blew up.
Mm-hmm.
Young Thug, French Montana, Nicki Minaj, and there was a point in the conversation where they were like, do you necessarily feel like these people are giving you props? The Migos, you know what I'm saying? Like, all these people.
Had so many artists from back in the day, and because of this, they re-signed with other people or whatever the situation is, and it pisses me off because none of them respects him. Or give him the credit, like Gucci signed me. Gucci's the one that got me out the slum. Gucci's the one that changed my life. None of them talks about that. Not one of them.
Does that bother you? Because it's a lot of artists that are multi-platinum, that are still selling records that you were the first person to give an opportunity to. We could name the list, but the list goes on and on.
Yep.
I feel like, I had to hold myself accountable. I got locked up. I messed up the opportunity. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not saying that they don't have to pay me homage. I appreciate it. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, that's part of how I was raised and just who I am. I get fulfillment out of helping artists. You know what I'm saying? I was reaching out to them, trying to help them because I saw talent in them.
And not just Southern artists.
No, not just Southern artists. DJs, producers, whatever. That's just like who I am. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm going to open the door studio. I'm going to bring people in. I'm going to work with the up and coming. That's what I like to do. You get what I'm saying? If it didn't work out the way it did because I got locked up, I got to say, hey, I got myself locked up. I messed that up. But since then, I've been doing well. Since I got out, I've been on you know what I'm saying? Been a whole different, everything been going good.
And he took a lot of accountability. He was like, I think, it could have been one of the biggest, but because I got myself in trouble, nobody would have stuck by while I'm going through all that jail stuff. But I think Nicki Minaj might have took that as a jab towards her, as if she doesn't give the props. I don't know if you remember before Nicki was officially Young Money, she was also doing songs with Gucci Mane and his camp at the time. Yeah, to the point people was like, oh wait, did she sign over there? Because you seen her with Wayne at first. Now she's over there with Gucci and them. So like, what's going on? And then I think that actually put the pressure on Young Money to be like, yo, we got to sign her up. Somebody, you know what I mean? So I don't know if she took that part, but she definitely took to the internet to kind of attack Gucci Mane's wife, say that she's running the show.
What's Gucci Mane's wife got to do with it though?
I guess they probably had a prior thing because she goes. I can read some of her tweets. Yeah, I think one of the first tweets that she made was talking about how Keisha K.O. has always wanted to be her. Yes, she's trying to be me for years, been dying for the spotlight for years. She's there to keep Gucci sedated. Gucci hates Deb Auntie, who's and that's Waka Flocka's mom and Gucci's former manager. They don't want Deb around me. She's around me now. So it might have been because of the Deb Gucci man relationship. It might have been because of whatever issue they had before. She said so it sounds as if her and Gucci Mane's wife has had some type of issues, whether she feels like she's jacking her style or whatever the case may be. Then Nicki went on to X Spaces and said a lot of dumb shit, to be honest with you.
The is so insecure at her face. Simply being her face. You see, not everyone ages like the generous queen, because my light inside, my grace, my peace, my love, my paradox, my conundrum, my truth, my generosity, my humility, my restraint, when I have the power to do so much. Now, I'm no psychology major. I don't know much about much. But boy, do narcissists sure have a way of pushing themselves to the front by any means necessary. They will step on you.
But basically she was kind of saying like Gucci is basically in a brainwashed, sedated state, and that she's controlling everything. She's controlling the money. She does. I mean, which I'm sure she actually does have power of attorney. She says in the Breakfast Club interview they've had to kidnap Gucci Mane at points. They've had to take his phone away. Like she'll literally have to text people, "Yo, he's going through an episode right now. Block him," because anything he says to you at this point is not really him. And I know where that comes from. I know that thought process. Like, you know what I'm saying? If you haven't dealt with somebody like that, you don't know. You're like,
you've seen it from Kanye. I mean,
you do, yeah.
Someone who hasn't had.
And I think that's where the conversation went, where the people were like, you should be doing that to what's his name? Nicki Minaj's husband. Basically, that he should be taking her. What's his name? Kevin Petty? Not Kevin. Is it Kevin?
I think it's
Kenneth. Yeah. Kenneth Petty. Petty. That he should be taking her phone away when she goes on this stuff, because she's on Twitter Spaces saying this shit, and for weeks before, she was going at Cardi B. They were going at. She's been posting pictures of Jay-Z. Some of them funny every day, but like Jay-Z's like I don't even think Jay-Z knows she exists. Right. You know what I'm saying? Or at least he's not going to give it to the internet that he knows she exists. So some people are like, Kenneth, that's your wife. I get it. Take her phone away now. If I'm Kenneth, I ain't fucking up the bag.
Yeah, right.
I ain't trying to go back. Look, her Twitter rants, I got us this far. Let's let this shit ride. What y'all talking about? Keep me out of this. But a lot of people are like, well, you know, she might say something that affects her career, might say something that takes the money away. If you really cared about her, because some people also think some of this stuff is drug fueled. Some of this stuff.
Yeah, I mean, there's no way in hell like she's like, is this like? From my perspective, there's no reason for her to be this angry.
But it could be an episode. I think that's what and Gucci didn't call her out, but he says they asked in an interview when you see these artists go on these extensive Twitter rants. Because remember, Gucci was the famous one that he was going at everybody on Twitter one day. He's like, do you just think to yourself, oh, this person might be going through something, and do you reach out? He's like, I don't reach out because I don't know. They don't want to hear it at that time. But he's like, to myself, I might be like, yeah, that person, if I know their personality enough, is going through an episode, then that's the other theory that maybe Nicki Minaj might be going through some type of breakdown, and it's exposing itself like this. Which I think the right thing, if in Kenneth's situation, if that's what was happening, take the phone away. You don't want that to happen. But there's a catch-22 because it also could be Nicki Minaj announced an album coming out 6 months from now.
Oh, okay.
So she has to keep a buzz going for 6 months. Because people don't care about what happened 6 days ago.
Right.
So it's like, I don't know if it's mental health. I don't know what it is. But a hit dog hollered because they just came and did an interview and now all of a sudden they got in her crosshairs. You know what I mean? But what do you think in terms of like, should Kenneth step in? Or is it? Or do you think Nicki Minaj's situation might be something similar to Gucci's?
I mean, I have no idea, right? Mm-hmm. And it's tough because, Kenneth is not the boss, right?
Yeah.
Like, and just depending, I don't know Nicki personally, so if her personality type is anything like she shows us, if it's like that same way inside of her relationship, then he can't do shit. Versus like if she's one of those women outside, she's the pit bull, but within her relationship she's
She'll
super
fall back.
sore and fall back. Then cool. If Kenneth has that type of power over her, then yes, he should step in. But if he doesn't, there ain't nothing he's gonna be able to do.
Yeah.
Or nobody for that matter. So
yeah, I think that's a weird position to put him in. Because I don't necessarily know if she's embarrassing herself. Like this actually might work out for her benefit.
Yeah, I don't know if she's embarrassing herself. She's just talking like an angry woman, and so the people who want to eat it up gonna eat it up. I don't even pay attention to it. It sucks, and it's a shame because, like I said, from my perspective, she's the GOAT in terms of female rap artists. And so you don't have to do any of this. We don't need to hear anything negative from you. Like your accolades and everything speaks for itself. Like you can be on top of Mount Rushmore, just sitting with your legs crossed, being happy. Like what's all the anger about? Like you made it. You're up there.
Yeah.
Like, what the?
No, but sometimes I think people like.
And you can't convince anybody who doesn't want to be convinced, right? People going to always have opinions, and you're not going to change their opinions by your rants.
But you know what I look at? I look at like a Stephen A. Smith. He this past week had like 2 things where he's talking about LeBron on this podcast, and he goes on Carmelo's podcast. He's got more comments about LeBron. He says this about Jasmine Crockett, then the next week he comes out and apologizes to her. And it's like, I think sometimes people who aren't rappers think like, oh, this is my rapper moment. Like, you know what I'm saying? Well, I'm gonna go on this thing. Because the way Stephen A's talking about, LeBron went on Pat McAfee's show. That's my station. Like it's Hot 97 and 105.1.
He had that type of
and I think sometimes people they feel real like non-rappers feel like, oh, this is my rapper beef moment. This is my I can diss this person in the public limelight moment. And I think Nicki as a rapper kind of feels propelled into that. I don't even think she would have started talking about Gucci and Keisha K.R. if she wasn't reading comments. You know what I'm saying? It came across as if like people started making that comparison. So now you're like, well, let me tear them down. And I don't even think it was a thing of saying that Keisha K.R. is better than Kenneth Petty because of this. It was like, well, if this is working for Gucci, that might work for Nicki. The other part of what she said in the interview was like basically saying that we're going to watch at some point Gucci's going to be in conservatorship that Keisha K.R. is controlling. Her quote was,
Nicki said that?
Yeah, okay. If you love Gucci as a person and have intelligence and wisdom, you'll understand the play that was played. She just in one trick of the hand took everything from him. She could start and stop his life now as she deems fit. He has just relinquished for the world to see all his authority over himself, over his mind, over his music. Now watch what happens next. That may be true, but it also may be a world where she never has to put him in a conservatorship because he knows how to behave. And people only really get put into that when they're in a position where they can't control their own finances, their own actions, their own, you know what I mean? And they need someone to do that for them. Nicki might be right. We might live in a world one day where Gucci is like Britney Spears was because he can't control himself. But I can also see a world where it's something different. But that doesn't take away from the fact that this woman is doing the best she can for him. You know what I'm saying? And from what I seen in that interview, there was nothing glamorous about what they were talking about. That Keisha K.R. was like, let me be on the Breakfast Club interview and be seen. If honestly, like that's the type of stuff that a lot of people keep hidden and don't talk about in the public limelight. Those moments where you got to take his phone away. Those moments where he's talking to you like you're the enemy. Mm-hmm. And that's how she knows a episode is coming on. So I respectfully disagree with Nicki Minaj on this one. I don't think that this is that type of play. You know what I'm saying?
What would we prefer? Her not be around and him
wilding out?
Yeah. Like, what the hell are we talking about right now?
Ice cream tattoos all over the face and all that. Like,
the real talk. Ever since he's come out and she's been in his life, like we have not heard nothing bad about Gucci. Like,
now the music doesn't hit quite the same, but that could be because of his age,
right?
Yeah, it's hard to cut through. For 20-something years, we was listening to Gucci in the early 2000s. That's so. For the fact that you're still relevant, like that's what happens in hip hop nowadays. It's like you still make music. It might not be the #1 single. It might not go to the top of the charts, but you doing it for yourself at that point. but he's still relevant enough to get a Breakfast Club interview because of a book he writes. He still knows how to. I'm sure he still makes money touring.
I mean, Gucci. I mean, he's. I don't know when's the last album he came out with, and nor have I listened to any of it. But I mean, he is relevant, so he's doing something. He has artists. He's around doing it. So
also relevance of what we call relevant when Gucci was popping isn't what's relevant nowadays.
Correct.
Things are more segmented. Whereas, you know what I'm saying, rappers that rapped when Gucci rapped do podcasts now, and we know them for that. Rappers who rapped when Gucci Mane was out write books now, and we might give them more props for that. So it's there's a lot other ways that you could go with it.
All right. What's good, people? It's your boy Spec. Make sure you go check out DJ Playboy's YouTube channel, dropping new episodes of Night Shift DJ Mix. Has all types of music from hip-hop, R&B, Afro beats, reggae, and even some EDM. You could play it at work, in the car, at the gym, while you're strolling through the park. Make sure you hit up that channel, like, and subscribe.
Spec, we're going to move on to another segment now on the Perfect Talk podcast, and it's called Since We Spoke. Me and Spec haven't kicked in a while, so, we just talk about something that's popped since we last sat down. So we spoke about Diddy getting sentenced, and his legal team has been fighting to see what facility he's going to be serving his sentence at. Obviously, they wanted that one that's not as severe or not as brutal as the reputation of other places might be known. But I know he was denied for the first place he went. And I think in talking about this and trying to find somewhere safe, they said that we found out that there was, I guess what you would call an attempt on his life.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Now, if I'm not mistaken, he's staying the same place where Epstein got. Whatever happened to Epstein, whether he killed himself or whatever you think the conspiracy theory might be. And it's not Brooklyn.
Oh, it might be Brooklyn.
Okay, yeah, that's what
it's in New York City. No.
Yeah, Brooklyn Metropolitan. I can't talk for some reason. Detention center. Basically, he woke up in the middle of the night and to find a knife pressed against his throat. His longtime pal, Carlucci Finney, spoke about this and said he was just seconds away from serious harm or death. It remains unclear whether prison guards intervened or if Combs managed to fight off the attacker. Or, I guess the third scenario would be like it was just a threat and that this person was just showing how close he could get to him and what could be done. Serious stuff. Very serious stuff, you know what I'm saying? And that was part of their argument. Like now, this week, those details came out about what's going on and where he's going to be held. We don't know exactly where they're going to keep him for the next 4 years. But to know that someone was able to get that close to him that's a little jarring. I always wonder why we and not that I want to hear stories about this about anybody, but like for what R. Kelly's locked up for, I didn't hear too many stories like this about it. Now that could just be that he doesn't want to report it. The stories I hear about R. Kelly, I mean, he's a god in jail. So, which is weird, right? People love him. But based off the stereotype of jail, you would think someone locked up for what he was locked up for wouldn't be. So for me to hear this about Diddy and not R. Kelly is like a little jarring. But who knows if things changed after that? Who knows if Diddy had to find protection after that? Or who knows if he still is worried that there might be an attempt on his life? You know what I'm saying? Like it is something to think about but you also did the crime. That comes with prison, you know what I'm saying? It also came out this week that he will not be getting, at least so as of what they're saying right now from the White House, he will not be getting a pardon.
Oh, the White House did say no?
Well, TMZ reported that it's a possibility that it might happen. And then they said that it was a high-ranking White House official that said that Trump was deliberating a commutation, adding that the president could set Diddy free as early as this week. Right. However, in a statement to USA Today on Tuesday, October 21st, a White House spokesperson said that there's zero truth to the claims in TMZ's story. The president, not anonymous sources, is the final decider on pardons and commutation. So, as of right now, it looks like it's still a nah. But I didn't know George Santos was about to get what he got. You know what I'm saying? So, what I've noticed about Diddy's team or just Diddy's situation, a lot of people talking. A lot of people just like, where it's like, maybe if everybody just shut the fuck up for a little bit and like some of this stuff might slide through, but it's like a lot of people talking. The lawyers is doing interviews before he's sentenced.
Yeah, I think it's just more about keeping, because it's weird, like there's still a lot of support for Diddy despite what he's done. And so I think the thought is, keep this in the news, keep it on, it's gonna, they think it can help them.
Because if it's out of the news cycle, then
forget.
Out of sight, out of mind.
Out of mind.
It could go any wild way. Yeah, I can see that, but I haven't seen how it's paid off from the wild apology he did after the Cassie video came out to me, your lawyers doing interviews before your sentence feels like that's more of a play for them.
Yeah.
That's like a commercial for them as opposed to them really caring about what happens to you. But I never thought about it as that might be his strategy that he told him to do. Because you don't usually see lawyers doing that. You know what I'm saying? So maybe, yeah, I didn't even think about that.
And Diddy is a spectacle individual, so.
Keep the show going, yeah?
We shall see.
We're going to move on to another segment that we have here at the Perfect Talk Podcast, and it's called Have You Heard? It's one of my favorite segments, man. We take stuff out the news, bring the headlines here, Perfect Talk Podcast, and talk about it, man. And everybody's been talking about this one all week. The NBA and federal investigation into gambling. Woke up to see Chauncey Billups and Terry Rozier were arrested. Later found out Damon Jones was arrested later in that day as well. Your guy Cash Patel came out, eye looking every which way, and said that at a Thursday's press conference,
individuals such as Chauncey Billups, Damon Jones, and Terry Rozier were taken into custody today. Former, current NBA players and coaches. What you don't know is that this is an illegal gambling operation and sports rigging operation that spanned the course of years. The FBI led a coordinated takedown across 11 states to arrest over 30 individuals today responsible for this case, which is very much ongoing. Not only did we crack into the fraud that these perpetrators committed on the grand stage of the NBA, but we also entered and executed a system of justice against La Casa Nostra to include the Bonanno, Gambino, Genovese, and Lucchese crime families.
He mentioned specific allegations including wire fraud, money laundering, extortion, and illegal gambling. Now, Rozier's situation and Chauncey Billups are two separate situations. However, Damon Jones is named in both of them. He's not the only one. There was a couple others that was named in both of them. But this is talking about things like X-ray poker tables at games where Chauncey Billups was basically called the face, and he's the most famous person that was able to pull out these big, what do they call them, big fish or whatever that they were getting at. And yeah, that's wild in itself. But the Terry Rozier part of it, and I'll just play a quick video of how silly Terry Rozier. Now, Terry Rozier was already getting investigated, I believe.
Yeah, he was about to leave.
Because he's on Miami, and I believe it first started when he was over at Charlotte or something like that, right? Mm-hmm. But yeah, this is just a highlight reel of one particular game. Now, when that Spolcher was just sitting there like... So basically the play that they said would be you would take the under on Terry Rozier because you know that he's obviously not hitting a lot of shots in this game.
The crazy thing is, it's like, how do you, like, to purposely play bad? I mean, that's like hard to, it's weird.
And also your teammates don't pick up on it?
That's what I'm saying, because it's like you have to try and play good enough that it doesn't look like you're trying to, it's just.
There's a lot to it, bro. It's
horrible.
Yeah. And also the fact that you think, because I think what got him bagged is a lot of bets would just start coming in for Terry Rozier. They're like, what the fuck? Who the fuck cares about Terry Rozier? Like, we just got crazy numbers coming in for Terry. Nobody bets on this. So I think that was the first red flag, that people was going a little too hard when it was that time. And then with the Chauncey Billups situation, yeah, if you beat millionaires out of money, they're going to start catching on to it. Like, yo, they got you too. You know what I'm saying? Like, motherfuckers talk. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta like, now, here's my theory. A lot of people lean into addiction. A lot of people lean into that stuff. You think it might be a situation where these guys actually may be the victims? In a sense where, like, you know these guys have gambling issues. They might get in a little bit of trouble, man. That's
normally how you get involved in stuff like this. Like, it starts with your own personal issue, and then they wheel you in, and now they got you, and now you're forced to do these things.
I can see this whole scenario where either Chauncey might owe them a little something. They're like, don't worry about it. Matter of fact, we got a job for you. You're going to get $50,000 just for showing up. All we need you to do is just tell your friends about these games, tell da-da-da-da-da. Meanwhile, niggas got x-ray tables, they got x-ray contact lenses.
That's how that's almost, that has to be how it started. I mean, because how else
would he have been involved with those type of people? Yeah. Or he does like to gamble, you know what I'm saying? So he's going to be around those type of people. And then they was just like, yo, you work for us now. Like, we know where you live. We know da-da-da-da-da. That one a little bit.
It's a victim.
But that one a little bit less.
Yeah.
I think I can see it more where you had some type of friendly relationship with them. And then they reached the point where they needed what they were supposed to get owed. And this is how they figured you was going to pay them back.
Mm-hmm.
It could be the same thing for Rozier. Or he could just be a little greedy. But then, I mean, you made millions of dollars as a Hall of Famer.
Like with the Rozier piece, is like, what for you personally, what's the upside? You're still, I mean, I don't know how much he was making, but I don't know that it could be more than his actual salary. But
I don't think it was for him. I think it was for the homies. Like, he can't help all his homies, or he probably doesn't want to help all his homies from his pocket. So, yo, I'm playing the Bulls on Sunday. Bet the under. Bet a lot on the under. And then, you know what I'm saying? That's how you get it. But then niggas catch on where they like, yo, all these niggas in this zip code. it's all like, that's how. But you know what I'm saying? It's betting. Gambling is federally monitored like the stock market is. They catch on to certain shit. You know what I'm saying? And then you got all these different sports books. They're all connected. They don't know what the fuck's going on. You think FanDuel don't know when DraftKings is getting mad bets on one player over there? So like, oh word. So yeah, lower his number now, so that they're not gonna take the under anymore. Oh, they still taking the under? How? You know what I'm saying? That's how niggas catch on. So it's troubling, but I don't think it's new. I think
that's not new.
Yeah, I mean,
since the beginning of time.
You heard the theory that Michael Jordan's hiatus from basketball was possibly a suspension because of his gambling issues, and they just figured to hide it under that guise. We all know Michael Jordan gambling issues and things of that nature.
The only difference now is technology.
Yeah.
That's it.
Gilbert Arenas showed up with a gun to settle a gambling debt, very famously in the NBA. So the NBA has struggled with this. And I could be wrong, but it feels like since legal gambling has become mainstream in a lot of states, they've been the one getting in trouble more than, I want to say, the other leagues. Shohei Ohtani got in a little something. His handler ended up taking the fall for it. You know what I'm saying? And I've heard of a couple of football guys, but it's harder to do stuff like that in football. So, but these basketball guys, I've been hearing about Eli Maverick Carter got investigated. They had to go in there and talk to him about a little something. So you see it. You know what I'm saying? Like, they say the NBA was already investigating Terry. A couple of people went down in that issue and they cleared him.
Yeah.
So that's the thing too. Like, how much did the NBA know? Like, you know what I'm saying? But Cash Patel said they've been working with him.
Yeah, I mean, they knew, but it's one of those things. If you can't find a smoking gun, you can't, you know.
Yeah.
So you can have an inkling, but the inkling is not good enough to do something about it.
That was what Chuck was trying to say on, like, Inside the NBA. He's like, oh, the NBA dropped the ball on this. And I think, what's his name? Kenny was trying to, I don't want to say he was caping up, but he was just like, yo, the FBI has way more resources than the NBA. But also, you got to remember, right after they go off, a betting commercial is coming on right after. So they could only go so hard with, I feel like, until like their producers is like, yo, you have fallback. Like, I was watching First Take. They look nervous talking about this shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because, you know what I'm saying? It's funny business. You don't want to get caught up in that. And yeah, it just looks like the dumbest thing to go down for, especially as a head coach. Like, black head coaches don't get no chances anyway, bro. Come on, man. We don't need this. But I'm holding out innocent till proven guilty. Maybe they might be victims in this. I still think they're going to get in trouble, but maybe there's another explanation to this that we just don't know about, man. Spec, have you heard? Your boy Donald Trump this week got really upset over an ad that Canada dropped. Let's play that ad and see what's that. Donnie T all in a huff and puff.
When someone says, let's impose tariffs on foreign imports, it looks like they're doing the patriotic thing by protecting American products and jobs. And sometimes for a short while it works, but only for a short time. But over the long run, such trade barriers hurt every American worker and consumer. High tariffs inevitably lead to retaliation by foreign countries and the triggering of fierce trade wars. then the worst happens. Markets shrink and collapse, businesses and industries shut down, and millions of people lose their jobs.
So that was part of the ad purchased by the government of Ontario and broadcast on major U.S. television networks.
That's gangster.
They took a Ronald Reagan 5-minute speech. They did edit it in a way, because I think Ronald Reagan dropped that when he had to drop tariffs. I mean, even though his speech is they used a part that was anti-tariff. So that I believe his estate said that. Excuse me, I want to make sure I say the right people. The Ronald Reagan Presidential Foundation and Institute said the ad misrepresented the former president's words, and Donald Trump used that as a reason to cancel trade negotiations with Canada. Then said that he's going to imply higher tariffs on them because instead of taking the ad down, it played again during the World Series where Toronto is playing the Dodgers. What is going on? Like politics on commercials? Like I do think foreign governments playing commercials on our networks.
That was gangster. There ain't no other way to say. Like, whew, I can see why Trump would have been mad.
I believe that the Supreme Court also is going to make a ruling, I believe this week or very soon, about his tariffs, and they feel like the Trump administration at least feels like this commercial was a attempt to sway their decision. I don't know if that's how the Supreme Court works.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But it obviously is a way to rally Americans.
Nowadays, we don't know how it really works.
That's true. That's true. But I believe the commercial was a way to at least rally American support against the tariffs. You don't need a commercial for that. Like we don't understand tariffs, but we know it don't work out for us. So I think enough Americans are like, nah, we not feeling that, especially with inflation reaching a high and everything right now. I believe this week. We're not in the mood for more things being more expensive, and we're going into the holiday season. So, on one hand, I'm a little against foreign governments, but when you have a gangster president, you got to take gangster tactics. You know what I'm saying? What do you think about it, though, Spec?
I mean, I don't have anything wrong with it. Like I said, I understand why Trump is mad, but Canada. I mean, we share a border with them, so we've always been massive trade partners. And I agree with the commercial. Like, this shit ain't gonna. In long term, it's not going to benefit us. Short term, maybe, but you can't look at things from a short term perspective like that. And so I think long term it can potentially do more harm than good. And they're just hoping that commercials like that rally people in America to stand up against it. And so I'm not mad at them for doing it. So I get it.
Yeah, I can't get mad at it either. Yeah,
I don't look at it as the same as like Russia trying to interfere with our election and shit like
on
that.
Facebook and shit like that. Okay.
I look at this as interference, but in a good way, I guess.
No, I can't knock it. What I always thought Trump was doing with the tariffs was he says this exorbitant number, right? You go high to bring people to the negotiating table, and then you obviously, you will come back down. So whenever I see him importing these tariffs, I always know that there's a way. But now when you're canceling meetings, now you're just big dicking. That's all you're doing. Like, no, you'll show up when I'm ready for you to show up. Or I didn't like that. Also, does Canada control what Ontario does? Because you can't control what New York does. Like, you know what I'm saying? You don't want them to elect Mondami. Right. So there's all of Canada. I'm like, oh wait, is Ontario? Are they even the capital? Is that the capital?
And Toronto's the capital.
That's what I'm saying, Drake. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I was like, so do they even represent the thoughts and feelings of all? For you to cancel it with the Canadian Prime Minister based off of, I don't know, maybe the government of Ontario.
I mean, Ontario, we share a border with Ontario.
That's because of what the lake, with the falls and all that.
They're right there.
Yeah.
So.
Nah, it just feels like. It feels like everybody's just doing their own thing right now. Like, and that's what Trump has caused. He caused chaos. What do you think about they continuing to do those No King protests? That was like a week or two ago.
I seen my first one this past Saturday. They had one, on Western Avenue, and so they were all out there with their signs, with their costumes, and it was interesting. Like, I didn't know, like, prior to it, I had seen signs saying No Kings Rally. I didn't know what the hell that was.
Yeah.
But then when I left the house Saturday morning, and it was a lot of people out there.
Leaving their house. I always think it's cool that you leave your house for that, but I'm like, not me.
And I really only knew because my neighbors, they're like, I don't want to say they're political people, but you know, they believe in all those messages like LGBTQ, you know, Black Lives, like they're white, but they're all for
they're allies.
They're allies.
Gotcha.
And so they were hosting a post No Kings rally like event at their house just to like feed people refreshments and stuff like that.
Okay.
So they had actually invited me over and, you know, told me about it. And so that's the only reason why I knew anything about it.
Have you seen the ad? Well, not an ad. It was a post that Trump did. It was AI where he's getting in a jet plane and then he's dropping like fecal matter on the on the protesters.
Yeah,
that's the president of the United States, bro, from his official account. That's that. But to me, I'm also like, I don't know how effective they are. You know what I'm saying? It shows discontent and it shows that, you know, we don't like it. But
I mean, that's the only thing we have is our voice.
Yeah.
Right? So I mean, how like is it going to change anything? Maybe not, but it's all about applied pressure. Like, let's just say if they keep this shit going every month for the next several, it will have some type of an effect. What? I have no idea. But, you know, I'm all for it. I don't see nothing. Again, it's peaceful. So
no, and midterms are coming up, so people are going to have to start acquiescing to what they're voting based on.
Exactly.
If they see that their demographic wants that, they're going to have to, you know what I mean, at least comment on it. Somebody, you know how it's election season around here. Something I saw that was really gangster was I was driving, I want to say Guilderland maybe, somewhere out there, Slingerlands maybe. And I'm like, oh, they popping with the No Kings out here. I'm seeing people on this side of the street, people on that side of the street. I'm seeing signs. Man, I get close. They're all holding up election signs, vote for these 3 people. And I'm like, but it was effective to get my attention because anybody driving by honking gonna be like, what's going on here? But I don't know if you can remember the name of the vote. But I was like, this is an interesting strategy. Make it seem like a rally or No Kings going on and just pump your your politicians that you think are going to be popping. But Spec, before we get out of here, I got one more thing I got to show you, man. It's things I've seen on the internet, man. I know you. Have you seen this? Your boy Cam Newton. You know he's over on First Take now, right? He was. he was.
See this.
He was doing a race between 2 different mascots. One of them being from Alabama A&M, and you know he went to Auburn, so he had to let him know. I think now. It gets serious between him and the mascot. Now, I know you've seen it from the other angle. I don't know if you've seen it from this angle, so let's check it out.
I was trying to figure out where it went wrong.
Watch.
Oh, because he knocked his hat off.
Look how he hit him, too.
Stop playing with me.
Well, Ryan Clark gonna come in here like, yo. You don't want this. Yo, Cam, what the? Cam done forgot where he. But why you playing with him like that, Cam? You ain't cool with him like that.
He didn't even slap his hat off. I thought he slapped his hat off his head, but Cam knocked his own hat off.
But he swung at Cam though. He did swing at Cam. I'll give him that, and that made Cam's hat fall off. But Cam, you was running after him. Like, you was in his face. Like at some point.
Show that one more time.
By the time he did that, he already jumped in his face like 3 times, yelling. See how he kind of like swings at him?
I wonder if he was saying, because he probably said something to him through the mascot helmet.
He still wanted something though.
You bitch ass motherfucker.
He still wanted something. You can tell. You know he talking shit right there through the mask. He started going. Yo. Fighting a mascot is the dumbest thing ever, bro. Yo, but the fact that this happens on live TV, Steven, the camera switches over to like Stephen A. Yo, I like Cam on ESPN, man. You wasn't gonna get that from Shannon Sharp. Cam, how many fight Cam's been in since we did this podcast, bro? Yo,
he had to think about shit. I really
should I do this? Should I do this? He talking shit. He hit him like somebody's mama's. You know what I think Cam hesitated? Because that's his throwing hand. He was like, is it worth it? He had to take a second. Like, is this going to hurt my hand? You seen? Should
I do it close-handed, open-handed?
Man, you seen the joint when speaking of first take moments where Serena's husband went on there and he pressed Stephen A, but Stephen A wasn't in the studio.
Oh no.
Oh yeah, he Alexis Ohanian. I could pull it up real quick. Let's see if I can find it. Now that joint was crazy because people were saying like Stephen A kind of soft.
So Stephen A was talking shit about Serena?
You remember the Super Bowl?
Yeah. So
she showed up and she did the thing with Kendrick.
Yeah.
Stephen A had comments the next day like, "Oh, if you gotta, hold on, I'm over here talking off camera." Stephen A was basically like, "Oh, well, if you want to do all that, then just go be with your ex, then." You know what I mean?
Stephen A. Smith, I think you had some marriage advice for me, right? Or. Well, you know what? Listen, I did it. People, headlines are headlines. We can get into that another time. But I was hoping you were going to be here. No, I am not qualified. Married? Oh, no, not me. Well, listen, I ain't qualified, my brother. I was going to ask.
What?
You hadn't been married before, right?
I am married.
No, see me. Okay. Yeah, because I give advice to plenty of founders who want to build billion-dollar companies. And the reason I do that is because I build billion-dollar companies. Yeah. So I generally try to stay in my lane with advice.
Then we'll talk marriage advice later. After 13 years.
You can see what I'm saying. He's like, this going on a little too long.
Okay, I like the clap back. It's
that's
very subtle,
that's
but
how billionaires do it.
Stay in your lane.
Hold on, you see this moment right here though? Where he asked him and then Stephen A starts stuttering?
Well, you know what? Listen, I did it. People, headlines are headlines.
Well, you know what? That's that you done fucked up moment. You done fucked up, Stephen A. I think this was the original comment.
And my wife is going to join trolling her ex. Go back to his ass, because clearly you don't belong with me. What you worried about him for and you with me?
I gotta get that link back.
It wasn't that energy.
Stephen A. Smith, I think you had some marriage advice for me. Is that right? Or
well, you know what? Listen, I did it. People, headlines are headlines. We can get into that another time. But I was hoping you were going to be there.
But Stephen A. still talking shit afterwards. Like if I would have been in studio, it would have been different. It wouldn't have went down like that. Yo, get out of here, Stephen A. Get out of here, bro. Like that's when niggas is just talking just to stay in the headline, bro. Because I'm like, yo, get out of here, bro. I think this was it.
I would have just said to him to his face if I was in the studio, are we really going to have this discussion? Seriously, bro? Because I'm not going to go there about anything.
And that's what I think.
You're not going to go there.
Why bring it up?
The shit in the first place. Like,
No,
you can't do that.
And you shouldn't ask that question to a man about his wife. And that's just one of those situations where you are going to have to eat it. And I think what he's saying too, though, Chan, like, that wasn't his intent, but you can apologize for the impact. Right? Like if this is some way bother you, that wasn't what I was trying to do. Now, if I don't F with you, then I ain't gonna say that because I really don't care how it impacted you. And so I think that sometimes that's part of what we go through. And then obviously too, that's Serena.
Right.
Yeah, we not disrespecting her in no way.
Never. I would never do that.
And so like that's the other piece.
But I'm looking at him like, you gonna do this on national television?
You did it on national television.
I was basically saying to him, please don't force me to respond to what you're doing. Yeah. Because of the segment going on 2 minutes longer and he kept pushing that subject, it was gonna be a problem. Because now you're inviting me to ask you. You're inviting, so I'm wrong? I'm wrong as a man for asking the question. Oh, why you got that kind of energy? And I remember, like, Whoopi Goldberg is a friend of mine. She's on The View. Yeah. She got on me big time. I said, Whoopi, come here. When I came on The View, see, that's what you have to deal with when you deal with me. You're right, I'm everywhere. So what happens? I'm on First Take but then all of a sudden I'm on The View, or I'm on Good Morning America, or I'm on Fox News, or I'm on CNN. You don't know where the hell I'm gonna be. You just know you're gonna hear from me. So my point was, Whoopi, I wasn't talking about her like that.
Like, Stephen, you get on my nerves now. Nah, bro. Like, you know what Stephen A. could have said? Well, I'll give him grace. I talk for a living. Like, it was the Super Bowl. I have to comment on it. Like, it would be weird. It would be more respectful. Not excuse me. It would be weird if Stephen A.'s talking about something out of maybe it's not sports and it's not politics because that seems to be his bag now. it would be weird if it was like maybe he's talking about rap beef for no damn reason. Then it's like now you hopping in the lane that's not yours. But yeah, you have the perfect built-in excuse of being like, bro, it happened at the Super Bowl. I wasn't speaking on your relationship as like gossip and rumor. We were talking about the Super Bowl halftime show. End of the story right there. But now you're just dragging it on to this whole extra thing. And then the biggest seem as if you was in the studio, you wouldn't have been like, right. Headline. Like, come on, bro. Like, that's what, but, and as a podcast, I think I have a little bit of grace for people that talk, because I'm like, you guys new topics every week. Some of them you might care about more than others. Some of them, so you're going to talk about things that you might not be that passionate about, but you take my words out of context. Now it's going to turn into an issue. So, but it is what it is, man. Like, you know what I mean? Shout out to First Take for still giving us good quality content. You know, Molly ain't there no more, right?
I do know, yeah.
Yeah, she's like, y'all ain't paying me enough, man. Y'all ain't giving me the bag. I'm up out of here, man. But Spec, that's another episode in the books, man. Where can my people find you out on social media?
Nowhere.
You can find your guy DJ Playboy on X at DJ or X at DJ Playboy. You can find me on Instagram at Plicapeasy, and you can find me or the entire Perfect Talk podcast on Instagram at Perfect Talk Radio. Also, go check out the website perfecttalkpodcast.com for everything. DJ Playboy, the Perfect Talk podcast, every episode right there. I got my mixes on there. And of course, you can get your merch, you know what I'm saying, right there. Get yourself a mug, you know what I'm saying? Get yourself a t-shirt, get yourself a little something to rep the massive. What else do I promote on here? Oh, go check out my DJ mixes too. DJ Playboy, the night shift. We got 3 episodes on there. Episode 4 coming soon, so keep an eye out for that. And what else is going on in the hood, Spec? I want to tell the people have a comments, right? Hop in the comments.
Hop in them comments.
You know
let
what I'm
us know
saying?
what you think.
You might see yourself on a future episode.
Let us
Make
know
sure
what
you
y'all
like.
think about our costumes.
Yeah. Let us know. You know what I'm saying? We stepping it up every year because we try. We do try for y'all. You know, it's not easy doing this. This has been cutting off circulation in my big ass nose for the entire episode, but we do it for y'all, man. And but make sure you hop in the comments, leave a like. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you hit that subscribe button. We love when y'all subscribe, and the algorithm does too. So make sure you do that and tell a friend to tell a friend. If you're listening to us on the podcast, go to whatever you listen on, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you at, and give us a 5-star review. Let them know how you feel, and keep checking out the show. Keep checking us out. Share the clips. Share what you see, and have a happy and safe Halloween. Check them kids' candy just because it's 2025 and it ain't 1985 no more. You still got to check their candy because there's weirdos out there, and be safe out there. You seen that video where the 3 guys popped up on the ring cam?
Yes.
And they was knocking on the lady door like, let us in.
I was wondering how long did it take for her to call the cops? It seemed like she let that.
She let that go on. They went to the back door too.
Too long. Like, where the fuck? Why you ain't call the cops?
Maybe it's that type of neighborhood where it's that type, because she's black and they didn't seem black.
No, they weren't.
Yeah, so maybe it's that neighborhood where a lot of like fuck shit go on, because I was thinking to myself, the second they start yelling, demanding to come in the house, all right, time's up. A little too KKK for me, bro. But yo, we up out of here, man. Catch y'all next time, man. Spread love. It's the Brooklyn way.
Peace.
Peace.